Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And this time we're going to take a look at the Tangle Cassatt from CZT Heidi Kay. Now this one, the inspiration is lilacs. And Cassatt is actually the last name of an artist that that Heidi admired, that drew beautiful work with lilacs. I will share that story, a link into, look for where it says for more inspiration, and that link will take you to the story and also some more about this tangle, as well as some of Heidi's work with it. And yeah, again, it's all for more inspiration. So with that, this one has many purposes. What I'm going to show is essentially the fill-in, if you will. So we're going to start, and here's the thought. I did not put this in the step out. This will be just our secret, because you're watching this Zentangle Quickie. I'm going to just put a little dot in the middle. Sometimes I do this, but I didn't think it was worthy of necessarily having a separate step this time on the step outs. There's some other ones where I'm like, you know what, this needs to be a step. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw seeds from this dot going out in 4 directions, and I'm deciding which direction I want to go. That's why I'm flipping my tile like I am. All right. And a seed, if you do not know, is, so starting on a point, that point I just put there, a curved line going one direction, and then curved line going the other direction. So we're going to do these in all 4 directions. And, you know, and I'm, like I said, I'm just starting in the middle of this tile just because. But, you know, wherever you might want to have that on your, wherever you're tangling. All right, so I do two seeds like this because I find this to be easier. And then I'm going to do 2 seeds in the opposite direction, trying to make them all a nice size. All right, then... And I did separate some things out from Heidi's step out, just because I felt like I needed to for me. So hope you don't mind. I took that license. All right, now we're going to go from the middle of one seed, just making a curved line, to the top of the seed next to it. And I am working, what would this be, counterclockwise. So from this seed to here, just a straight, or not straight, just a curved line, a little curved line. Then we're going to go towards the tip of the seed, just a little bit, and make another curved line coming to that same point. We're going to do this for all 4 of these seeds, or what will kind of end up to be petals. All right, so again, from the middle of this one to the tip of the one next to it. And then you can decide how far apart. I don't think you want these ones too far apart. Oops. Okay, middle to the tip, and then a little ways out. Okay. Sometimes I get it going backwards. All right. Okay, so that's the next step. Then, kind of maybe as far up as you can go, and to draw a decent size orb. And let's say, well, and it depends on your angle. So I would just tuck it up as, you know, high up as you can, but not like way up here where you can only draw, you know, with little teeny orb. And I'm gonna dare say, so like mine are, what would you say that's about, like, well, almost even with where this is. So, you know, in the top half. Just to give you a gauge. All right. Then we're going to come back and draw a couple parallel lines. They can be a little curvy. I was kind of auraing, you know, this part of this seed just a little bit, but although that one is kind of straight. But they can just be like that. It doesn't have to be, you know, they don't have to be too far apart. Yeah. And so if you imagine a lilac leaf or something organic, you know. So this, you know, this is one part of the petal. This is the other part of the petal. This is, you know, the kind of folded in is what I'm thinking. And this is kind of, you know, the back. And then this is, you know, the like stamen or something like that. All right. Then we can grow from here. So this is one of those neat tangles. I kind of put this in the organic category, meaning that it can kind of grow on itself. So then what, the way I decided where to grow from was like, so I just took like this crevice right here, and that's where I started my next seed. And this one, then you can kind of do like all the steps of the one, well, let's see, if we called each of these a petal. So what we did 4 times over here, we could just do it in kind of one fell swoop. Now here's where you could decide which side you want to have this smaller bit on. And then here it doesn't really matter, you know, how far it goes. You get the idea of how far apart you want to have this spaced. And then you can, this is the kind of the, you can make this part up as you go type of thing. Like so. And I'll put another one here. Yeah, and so these ones are really kind of going opposite the other ones. And then sometimes I'll do this where, you know, I draw one curved line and then I decide, do I want it out further or in more, depending on how far out I go, and then kind of judge. And you'll see as you look at, actually this kind of looks like a stick person. Well, my kind of stick person anyway. I'm just kind of cracking myself up. All right. But you'll be able to see when you click on that link for more inspiration, and see Heidi's work. And so you can get some, again, for more inspiration, but you can get some other ideas from that on how you might want to do this. And now I did not mention, if you, like some of my seeds, you're like, so this side, you see how this has this nice curve. This one, not so much because I'm doing it backwards and I'm not bothering to flip my tile and do it the other way. If you've watched any of my other videos, that's one thing that I recommend if you're having a challenge with the seeds, is to, you know, where you have your hand comfortable, draw your curve line, turn it the opposite direction, and then do it. And that does help to have some consistency. Okay, and so I've expanded, and then you can just continue to go out from there. And then it's just up to you. Well, how do you know, where do you want to put the next one? So like I could put this one, say, in this crevice. Oh, that was kind of thin. And then have the side thing come out to this side. You know, and you can have, you know, varying sizes. And then this can just grow however you want it to grow. And that's why I put it in the category of organic, because it's just kind of neat. And once you get the steps down, which these ones are nice because it's not necessarily that difficult, and easy to remember. And so then you can just go to town. And so this is one that I might have fun if I'm, in a meeting or doing something that I might find on the side of some note paper or something, just because it's like, oh, I think I need to put some of that right here. So that's neat. Now let me share some thoughts on, well, you know what, before I share some thoughts on decorating, let me share a couple other ideas in case you don't click that link. Let me divide this. Well, I don't know how I want to divide that. Okay, so you could also do this tangle in, say, more of a line type format. And that would be where you could do, so we'll start this way. So we'll put a seed here, and then we'll do this line. And this will just be coming out to, nothing. Or, like I see in her pattern, she has, maybe we call this, maybe there's a, well, let's just do it. Maybe there's a string line here. So we'll put that's a string line or a border line or whatever you're working on. And then we'll get this little guy here. And then you could come off, let's see, you can you could go just kind of sort of straight. And then this would just come down onto there. That's ginormous. And then, let's see, then we could do another one. Actually, let's see what happens. I could have tilted it this way a little bit, but there's no reason why we couldn't, take, have it go all the way down to that next one like that. So you could have fun with it that way. Actually, this is making me think of, for some reason, like pistachios. But this one went a little bit too far, so maybe I should have put another one in there. But you could always then have one. How do I want to do that? Come off this way, and then maybe you want it to go. We'll have it go down, just because that seems like that's the way it should go. And then you could, so you can play with that however you want, but you could have it kind of stacked like such. Or she does also mention where you could have it as kind of as a border. And I know, so for instance, we'll say, okay, that'll be the border. And she kind of does these double. So we could put a seed kind of standing up in the center, and then coming off to this side with that pair, coming off to this other side with that pair, and like so, and then could come off. Whoops, that's not quite a seed, but all right, we're just gonna go with it because I just was like, let's just not think. Okay. There we go. And yeah, so she had some of them doing, kind of going off of both sides like that. Actually, that's kind of cute. Let's put we'll do an actual seed on this side. And then let's have it go to this one like so. And then we could have it come down also. Like so. So you can just have fun with it. So again, so like this would be a border. This could be more of a like a line tangle or something. Well, actually, a border is a line tangle. Anyway, all right. So you can see how much fun that you can have with this. Now, for shading, now I have more things that I can play with. So for some shading, here is a thought. And I did this one in the step up because it just, for whatever reason, I was like, this needs to be a background. And so I started with this, just putting a little graphite in. It's kind of hard on that tip. Sometimes I might leave some of those just empty and come back with the tortillon as it's filled with graphite. And then we're just going to carefully move the graphite around just so that it fills up that section. So it's kind of like filling in, coloring in. But using the tortillon, it smooths all that graphite out so you don't get the kind of like the pencil lines. And then you can just, add the graphite as you see fit. I'm trying not to get into anything other than these little sections that I'm trying to fill in with the graphite, and I'm being amazed that it's not doing too bad of a job. Oops, let me move over a little bit. And you see, like, just those little bits, after you have some graphite on your tortillon, you can just use what's left. So that's kind of neat, just like so. Now you could also, you know, if you wanted to maybe add some some graphite to one side, and I'm just kind of, well, I'm just using what's left on the tortilla. Gosh, there's a lot on there. You know, adding it to one side just to add some extra, yeah, just some extra dimension. Now, something else that you could do is, and we'll do it on this one. So like this, we could fill in that little middle thing. And this is an opportunity. I haven't mentioned in the last few videos, I've not necessarily mentioned course corrections, because traditionally in Zentangle we don't put erasers in our kits, because the philosophy is that art mimics life, and there's no erasers in life. And I personally, we're just having a chat about this, a conversation on the Facebook group, and it's just like, no one's going to say, well, no, you absolutely can't. It's forbidden. That's not how it works. I look at it as a challenge, personally. It's like, can I do this? And if something goes wrong, and avoid the temptation of just grabbing an eraser or whatever, and just find ways around it and make it, how can I incorporate this? So sometimes what happens if you don't like something, then in my mind, I'm like, well, let's see. Shading could be one thing, because that sometimes, depending on your project, that can cover up a multitude of things, or just make them not as visible. And then, let's see, while I'm saying that, let me look at some other shading ideas here, or some, yeah. This one you could do where you add just some little lines. But anyway, so I look at it as like just a personal challenge. It's not something, here, we'll add all three to this one. That'd be kind of cool. Like I said, no one's going to come by and say, hey. But the idea is to not to have Zentangle be a process by which you pick up your tile or your paper, whatever you're using. Yeah, you have a few tangles. Oh, I didn't put any graphite in there. Let's see if I'll come back to that. Pick some tangles that you want to do. You say lay down your border, your string, all that, and you just go, and you don't think. There's the objective is not planning, not thinking. It is a super cool art form, but the methodology of it is, actually, I'm gonna leave. I'll leave the little balls. I'm just gonna do the stems. Is to not think, to not plan, and that's what gives us that meditative, mindful quality. But at the same time, we all can take it as we want to, and it is just a really, really cool art form. But hey, I think I like this one the best. So because I like adding the little what do they call it, hashing, just the little lines that instead of shading is kind of neat. And actually we'll just see, we'll just add some right here. It's one step away from my favorite thing in the whole world, which is the line dot dot, which is the same concept. I don't know why. It just adds something that looks so super neat. Anyway, this is a fantastic tangle, isn't it? And I hope that you enjoyed it. I think it's a fairly new one. And, yeah, I do believe, let's see, what is the date on it? Yeah, just a couple days old. So, at least as it's presented on Tangle Patterns. So, if you like this video, and I would appreciate a thumbs up if you liked it. And if you liked it well enough to see more, feel free to subscribe. And if you do, make sure to click the notification bell next to it so you can decide how you want to be notified when I put new content up. Right now, I'm doing a daily tangle, so I'm doing a daily quickie with the daily tangle, and we're having fun on Facebook, on our my Facebook group with this. And you can, come in, jump in anytime. I don't know what day this is anymore, 121 or 2 or something like that, because prior to this we did the 100-day project, and I didn't want to have those 100 days go to waste, so we just kept going. All right, and with that, again, check the description section for links, for step outs, more inspiration, and ways to connect. And with that, I wish you very happy tangling.